Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freak here, and here I want to bring you a discussion. The game I am playing, if you couldn't already tell, is One Piece Unlimited World Red for the Wii U, the 3DS, and the PS3. I think this thing is going to be on the Vita and the PS4, but as of right now, I'm going to go with the ones... Oh no, I know it's on the Vita, I'm lying. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the PS4. I thought it is, or maybe that's coming out later, I don't know. Anyways, I thought this would be a good game to play and to show you, considering what the topic at hand is. We're going to talk about Nintendo and its media pushing. What I mean by this is that Nintendo recently said a little while ago that they were going to start trying to focus pushing their IPs in more markets, not just gaming. That's why you had the Mario Kart 8 toys, the Amiibos, but well, besides figures, but they've also had talks about like movies and TV shows. Now, a lot of people are already going for movies and CGI movies. I personally believe, though, is I think they should go for anime first. The reasoning being is because, one, that would be to me, translating a game into an anime is easier than translating a game into a movie, especially when that game series itself has not been translated to an anime, because translating from an anime to a movie usually doesn't take that much time or effort. There are movies, I mean, Girl Gone and Tiger and Bunny have done it, where they've taken their anime series and then translate that to a movie. So the greatest way to see if your series could work as a movie is to make an anime about it and then translate that into a movie. Besides, live action movies usually don't work as well for certain franchises, and we already know what happened the last time they tried to do a live action version of anything Nintendo related. That shall not be named. Also, it can't be named because one of the actors in said movie passed away recently, and that was a shame. R.I.P. A moment of silence, if we please. If we please. If we please. I made myself sad. Anyways, so that's the first. And plus, that anime is something that Japan already does, and Nintendo being a Japan-founded company, that would be closer to their bread and butter anyway. And the other suggestion, the reason why, is because, as I said, live action adaptations don't necessarily go the best. I mean, how many people can really name that many good video game live action adaptations? Most of you can't name any. My point exactly. Now, as to which series they should start with. Now, a lot of people are going for the obvious Mario, Legend of Zelda, Samus thing. I think they should try to do one of their lesser known franchises, and I already have two in mind. One of which is on this particular list just because they've already done stuff with him anyway, and that would be Kid Icarus. I think Kid Icarus should have an anime series, particularly because they use anime cutscenes to represent Kid Icarus now anyway. Like, it was in the promotion, they use anime clips or little shorts to promote the game, and they put them on the 3DS, and they use it for Palutena's introduction into Smash Brothers. Like, anime has become a part of Kid Icarus's whole motif now, so it's not like it'd be that hard to translate it to an anime. And considering this plotline is actually relatively interesting, I think Kid Icarus could work as a story-based series, whereas something like Metroid that doesn't have that many characters, especially depending on where you're adapting from, and Mario, which has like no story at all, it'd be easier to adapt something with a little bit more meat on its bones. And the other series I think that could benefit from an anime adaptation is Fire Emblem. Plus that, considering how well Kid Icarus and Fire Emblem Awakening were received, it's not like those two couldn't. I mean, Fire Emblem and Kid Icarus in themselves are not big Nintendo franchises. And the other cool thing about this is if it messes up, you use your lesser known franchises. I mean, it's kind of like, why would you blow all your load on this particular, like on your main series? That's like Sony coming out of the gate with a Crash Bandicoot movie or an Uncharted movie. What did they go for? Sly Cooper. Now, granted, Sly Cooper should be one of the bread and butter franchises, and I think Ratchet and Clank too. But considering those two didn't really become popular, I wouldn't even say they've become popular. I mean, what I should say is that those two series have kind of fallen to the wayside in recent years, which is partially due to Sony's whole I guess we're gonna keep switching IPs because it's not like we're reinventing the same game or anything with our new IPs, right? Oh man. And that's my thing. Like, using Kid Icarus and Fire Emblem Awakening, I think will work because Fire Emblem Awakening actually has a lot of character interactions and story based. I mean, that's the thing about Nintendo games. A lot of people complain about Nintendo games about that. Most Nintendo games don't have stories. Like, they usually have these simplistic plots and everything's more. And when it comes to Nintendo, it's always been more about the gameplay than the story. Well, Fire Emblem and Kid Icarus are one of the few series in the Nintendo library that actually has a good story behind its great gameplay, and I think those two would really benefit from anime adaptations. Also, I just feel like those series need to be pushed more because we don't want Kid Icarus to drop off the face of the earth again, right, guys? Right? Actually, I think another series that might benefit from it is Star Fox. I mean, you already have a new Wii U game coming out. I mean, it's not like, and Star Fox does have a good history. Plus, considering how Star Fox is kind of a weird game, a weird franchise for Nintendo, period, because, well, for all intents and purposes, a lot of the canon with Star Fox, most Nintendo fans don't know. Older Nintendo fans know because they love Star Fox to death, but the newer generation, even myself included, I don't know too much about Star Fox lore. Why? Because Star Fox hasn't really had games. The last game it had, I think, was either on the, and I'm not counting the 3DS remake of 64, would be what? The one on the GameCube and the one, was it Assault and Adventures on the GameCube, I think were the last two Star Fox games we had. One was on the DS and one was on the GameCube. Star Fox could really benefit from it, and if you're planning to re-push him again anyway with this new Wii U title, the best correlation is to have an anime series go right next to it. Plus that, because some Nintendo IPs I don't think would translate well into live action. If we had to really talk live action, the only two series I could see doing relatively well without it being made into a complete joke would actually be Fire Emblem or Metroid, because Metroid I think could work as a sci-fi. I wouldn't say thriller because it's not really a horror game, but Metroid can have thriller elements into it. The problem with Metroid is that I think some parts of it, depending on the game, Metroid doesn't have that much of a story. I mean, most of it's just exploring a new planet and finding weapons and destroying evil bosses and shit. I mean, I do know Metroid has a lore, and I think that could work. But you know, Star Fox, it's anthro animals. Like, I don't think that's gonna work in live action. Mario, no. What else? F-Zero actually probably could work relatively well if they did it right. I mean, it's just a racing series, and it's not like you can't do racing in live action. Actually, F-Zero would be a series they could do in live action, but I think anime would be the better choice just from the get-go, because as I said, it's a stepping stone to live action. You know, you don't want to blow your load all at once, and it's an easy way to ease yourself into it. Nintendo has always been that kind of company that if they fuck up on something, they won't ever touch again. I mean, let's see what happened with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Oh wait, I said I wouldn't name that. Anyways, if you think about that movie, have we ever seen Nintendo try to do a live action movie again? No, and they're now just talking about doing it in 2014. That's how long? It's been at least over a decade. They're the kind of guys that, like, you see something bad happens to them, they're just like, well, we got to back out of this because this has just gotten awkward. I can't do this. And that's exactly what they do. They're just like, we need to back up. We need to reevaluate ourselves for a decade because this is a horrible idea. And that's exactly what Nintendo does. It's probably been over a decade. It's probably been like 15 years, if I want to be specific. Probably longer than that. It's been a while. That's the whole point. So I feel like if you're going to ease yourself into this new market that you haven't really touched before, I would suggest anime adaptations, maybe CGI, depending on the franchise. And I think you should start with lesser known franchises for different reasons. If you start with lesser known franchises, if they do well, you get more promotion for those franchises that don't have that much buzz around them. It also can coming up with interesting gimmicks you can do for a new game depending on how well they're received and if you want to deviate from the original stories in those games. I mean, technically, you can make an anime about anything you want. You can make an Ice Climbers anime if you really wanted to. And it might lead to an interesting Ice Climbers game. The same thing with Punch-Out. You could technically make a Rocky-esque movie out of Punch-Out and just have some slight variation on it. Like, I think every Nintendo IP has the ability to become great movies or anime or just interactive media besides their games. But I think it all really just depends on how they approach it. And as I said, actually a Punch-Out anime wouldn't be too... I mean, we have things like Hajime no Ippo, and I forget the name of the it's something no Joe, the other boxing anime. So it's not like they can't do a boxing anime starring Little Mac, and I think those would be more entertaining. Plus that a lot of video game fans, well, especially the ones who play RPGs, or JRPGs specifically, are already anime fans in some extent anyway, or at least are used to the anime style. So I think that will work out pretty well. And a lot of people already say when they saw the whole Paul Tana anime reveal, Smash Brothers anime, Nintendo, there you go. Now the reason why I say don't tackle that one specifically is because Smash Brothers, that takes a lot of effort to get that right, and no offense Nintendo, but you aren't really the masters of storytelling, particularly because a lot of your franchises don't use it. So I feel like that would be a combination if every other anime adaptation worked well. But you could kind of do an anime Avengers thing, like the Avengers equaling up to the Super Smash Brothers anime and having each anime for each Smash Brothers characters be their own series. I mean, you could do a Mario Brothers anime. I wouldn't, because I don't think that would be relatively entertaining, but I think something with deeper stories like Fire Emblem, even Samus. I keep calling, her name is Samus, but I keep mixing up Samus and Metroid. Metroid, name of the series, Samus, name of the main character of the series. A Metroid anime would work too, and I think those are just easier to do, because animes are more fantastical, so you can get away with doing a lot more ridiculous shit. Especially when you start getting into the more well-known IPs. Particularly Mario and the ones that don't have like deep stories. I think anime adaptations would benefit them greatly. For something like Fire Emblem, that can be done in live action. I think, shit, as I said, I think Metro could be done in live action. F-Zero, Kid Icarus to an extent, but I wouldn't try it. I think those should really just have anime adaptations. But that's my general thoughts and opinions. So please leave yours in the comment section below. Do you think they should start off doing anime adaptations, or you want them to jump right into live action? I mean, they have series that can do that, but as I said, and also I just think it'd be cheaper to do an anime series versus actually spending a ridiculous amount of money just to get the rights to do a Mario Brothers or a Metroid or a F-Zero movie, and then having like B or C rated actors for each of the respective roles. But anyways, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you all later. Peace.